Austin Kennady of the Bryant Law Center, our guest on part one of today's Local 6 Legal Line, answering your questions regarding personal injury. If you want to get in on the fray, it's 1-888-208-6946. Your questions answered here in the next 3 minutes. And Austin, first question we have from someone who says, my daughter let a friend borrow her car and she had a wreck that was her fault. What we want to know is, can the injured person sue us, the parents?
I mean, they could sue you. Now, whether or not they could recover from you personally, highly unlikely, absent exigent circumstances. The auto policy that was for the vehicle that you own is still going to be in effect, and it's going to cover you up to your policy limits. That would be the primary when it comes to the liability claim. If the damages actually exceed the policy limits, then secondary would be the friend's own auto policy if she has one. But regardless, it's unlikely, again, absent very unique circumstances, that they could come after you personally. They could sue you, but doesn't mean they can collect from you. So I guess in a sense, yes, they can, but it's highly unlikely they're ever taking a dime out of your pocket, put it that way.
Austin, I was looking ahead on this next question, and I think this is an issue that some people find themselves facing more often than not, and that is being upside down or underwater on your car. And what I'm getting at here, this person says, my car was totaled in a wreck. It was not my fault, and I still owe more money on it. The insurance company only wants to give me book value. Do I have any options?
Well, I mean, you don't have to settle it. They can make an offer to you, and you can, review it. You could look in Kelley Blue Book or National Highway Safety, get your own estimate on what the value of that vehicle was the split second before the accident, and make a counter offer and go back and forth until hopefully you reach some sort of amicable solution to it. But you don't have to accept their offer, and generally their first offer is not going to be the best offer on the property damage. As far as if you're upside down on your vehicle, there's really nothing you can do. What will happen is you'll settle the property damage, and the insurance company will write a check to whoever the loan holder is. If it's a bank, for example, they'll write the check to the bank, and then you're left with nothing and having to replace your own vehicle. I mean, that's one of the biggest, I guess, issues as far as buying a vehicle that, where you don't put anything down, and that it obviously decreases in value as soon as you drop it off the lot. Something to consider when purchasing a vehicle, and as far as what you can do about it, really there's not any kind of policy or any kind of rider that you can have that I'm aware of that would cover a situation like that.
I have about a minute left in segment number one, and someone says, I was in a wreck about 1.5 years ago, and I'm now starting to have trouble with my back. My doctor seems to think that it's from the car wreck. Now my question is, can I still sue the person that rear-ended me?
It just depends. As far as statute of limitations goes, you're fine. In Kentucky, you have at least 2 years from the date of the accident, or 2 years from the date of the last PIP payment. Illinois, strict 2 years. Tennessee, 1 year. So as far as Kentucky, Illinois, you're fine as far as statute of limitations goes, but your issue is going to be causation. The burden of proof is always on the plaintiff to prove the damages. So if you didn't receive any medical treatment for 1.5 years, and all of a sudden, you start going to the doctor, and the doctor's telling you, he attributes it, or she attributes it to the motor vehicle accident. Well, if there was no medical treatment to corroborate that for 1.5 years, you're going to have a hard time proving your damages.
Austin Kennady of the Bryant Law Center, our guest on part one of today's Local 6 Legal Line. The topic has been personal injury. We're going to switch gears and move ahead to criminal defense, and we'll put Tyler Brown in the hot seat when we return for part two of Local 6 Legal Line, coming up next on Local 6 Midday.